This podcast is brought to you by Vizard.ai and by Revival, Book 1 of the Unveiled Book Series.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Keep marching on. Keep marching on. Keep marching on. Keep marching on. And remember every mother that you came from. Learn as much from our success as our mistakes. Don't forget you're merely one of many others on the journey every generation makes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's special episode of the Party or Broadway podcast. Today, we are joined by Jake to discuss the looming TikTok ban. So let's get started. Jake, I'm tired.
Why? What's going on?
I'm tired of this stupid fight that we keep.
It's not going anywhere. It's not.
I know, but I'm tired of this happening every few months.
Welcome to American politics. Ta-da!
Oh my god. Oh my god. I know, but
I can sum up this entire thing in one word. Stupid. This whole
stupid.
thing is stupid.
It's stupid, and it's not about.
It's never been about national security. See, here's the thing, and this is where politicians think they're playing 3D chess and they're playing tic-tac-toe. They're so dumb they don't even realize how stupid they're being. So the argument is that it's all about content. That's what it really comes down to. It comes down to content and the fact that TikTok is doing it better than the quote unquote American companies, right? But they know that they can't get rid of TikTok on the grounds of content because that would be a violation of the First Amendment, rightfully so. So they trump up this nonsense about it being national security when TikTok, as we know it, has it's not the same app that's in China. And okay, even if it were, all right, if your concern is national security, people in government can't have it. That's all you got to do. There's a ton of services that people in government are not allowed to use because of national security concerns. But if you're going to pretend with a straight face that TikTok is somehow more susceptible to, what would you call that, data retrieval or people taking people's information, then you should just not have internet, period. Because newsflash, if a foreign adversary, no matter who they are, wants the information on your computer, they can get it. Point blank, they can get it. So what this is really about is the average everyday American TikTok user who is sometimes just using it for fun. Most of the ones that are concerned about this are the people that are actually have started and are growing businesses, or followings, or, just trying to earn a living in a lot of cases. And you're removing that opportunity. Now, if the other social media apps were doing the same thing, then it would kind of suck. It would still be immoral and wrong, but it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But point blank, TikTok straight up changed how social media is done. It is. YouTube rolled out YouTube Shorts. Instagram rolled out Instagram Reels purely to compete with TikTok's format, including the aspect ratio, which is, the mobile aspect ratio, the 9:16 instead of the 16:9, because it's on your phone, it's this way, not this way kind of thing.
Yeah.
They didn't invent it, but the entire industry changed. And that they're just jelly. They're just straight up jealous.
That's what I was about to say. Is let's be real here, people. It's not about national security. It's about they're jealous and they don't like us talking. They don't like us like getting the real news on TikTok more than on mainstream media.
So this idea that the government doesn't like the open sharing of information is not new. We've always kind of had, which is why the founders understood how important it was to have free speech and a free press, freedom of religion, all that, because they knew, because they lived through it. There were going to be times where the truth, or even just because here's the thing about TikTok, there's a lot of good information, there's a lot of bad information. That's the point of the public square, so to speak, the metaphorical public square, is you go there and somebody goes out there and says, I got a really dumb idea, but here it is. And then people hear the dumb idea. And if it's a genuinely bad or false idea, people used to test it. And then it would be labeled a good or a bad idea. But it would be put out there. Now it seems that, and this is somebody who, not TikTok, ironically, but TikTok's removed a fair amount of my videos for dumb reasons. So TikTok censorship is problematic too. Like it's real bad on certain subjects where they don't even care. I'll put it to you this way. I'm not going to mention the name for fear of being deplatforming you, but all we did was say a person's name, and we were actually making fun of this person, not supporting this person. But because we used his name, the video was removed for a community guidelines violation, which that's why we upload to multiple platforms, because it happens. I think we've had a video removed from every platform at least one time. It happens. That's why we have multiples. But what TikTok has done is kind of brought back with a vengeance. I'm not saying it's not there, but particularly during COVID, YouTube, Instagram wasn't that bad, but YouTube, Facebook especially, they really cracked down on the sort of alternative ideas, which is people discussing things, even people just asking questions. When all that was going on, I got a lot of news that I only saw on TikTok from TikTok, and irrefutable evidence, like video and not AI generated video evidence. Like the TikTok was where I found out about the video of Brazil where police forcibly vaccinated people, because people were uploading videos. I saw videos, not the October 7th rocket attacks, but other rocket attacks going on in Israel. I saw those happening live because people were live streaming it on TikTok. And when you can live stream the news with people on the ground and the platform allows it, that's dangerous because you can't spin the narrative then. Or at least it's harder to spin the narrative.
Yeah, exactly. I think with me, with me, I didn't know about the California fires until TikTok. TikTok showed me the fires.
Well, here's another thing. This is another reason why a lot of people don't like TikTok. People have been talking about the possibility of and the real risk of wildfires in California since 2019. It's on there. It's regular. People in California talking about, like, that's a fire waiting to happen. It's only a matter of time. And I'm not giving grief to anybody in particular. It's just these are conditions. This did not come out of nowhere. And people were talking about it on TikTok. TikTok was how I found out about the federal government only giving people $700 after the Hawaii fires. I saw that on TikTok first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really hard to spin the narrative when people are openly talking about the narrative on a place that doesn't, censor it for the most part. But Facebook just came out and openly admitted that they were being told to censor information and deplatform people during the pandemic. Like Mark Zuckerberg came out and made a statement and was just on Joe Rogan and laid it all out. The stuff that the quote unquote crazy people were saying about Facebook being basically a government apparatus, Zuckerberg just came out and said it all and admitted there's multiple things, like a higher up director in FEMA advising people not to, go to people that had Trump signs in their yards. Like, that's confirmed fact.
Mark Zuckerberg, I swear.
Mark Zuckerberg. But hey, hopefully Facebook turns it around. And I love how everybody like you don't have to like Elon Musk, but here's the thing. The community notes on X are actually great. It's a democratized what would you call that? A democratized fact checker, meaning that the community notes are phenomenal and Facebook's going to adopt them because it's much better than a designated fact checker because fact checkers are human. Sometimes in the best scenario, sometimes people get stuff wrong. But when it's the community that's curating it, if a community notes wrong, somebody else will correct it.
Yeah.
You know, Wikipedia has been around for ages and Wikipedia is still edited by the users. There is no central authority. Or, I mean, there is, but there's no central authority that is exclusively responsible for creating and editing articles. That's done by the users.
Mm.
Not every user, but you know what I'm saying. And TikTok's the town square, and big government's afraid of the town square. They always have been for obvious reasons. And the irony is that the United States is saying that it's because China's a foreign adversary and that this app is controlled by China when it's not. It might be influenced by China, but it's certainly not controlled by it. I mean, the company is headquartered in Singapore. And all the data, if you believe the CEO, which I do, all the data of American users is kept in Texas.
Yeah.
Like
Oracle is literally in fucking Texas.
yes, it's well. In this, okay. So here's another thing for all the people that are jumping over to Red Note or whatever it's called. That is a Chinese app.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing about that, though. Everyone is doing it to protest against the government. It's saying, well, if you're worried about Chinese giving us our data, we'll go over the Red Book and give it ourselves.
Okay, so that actually makes me feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that honestly, but yeah, now I get it. Because there's even Duolingo, like Duolingo's TikTok is uploading videos of like Mandarin phrases you need to know to switch over.
The Red Book.
Or it's like one day on Red Book, and then they start speaking Mandarin after that. But by the same token, I'm a walking contradiction. But by the same token, I also don't trust the Chinese Communist Party at all. And like
Yeah.
originally when they first started talking about banning TikTok, I don't like the word ban, but I was sort of in favor of at least looking into it to say like, you know what? Maybe there's something there. Let's look into it. Let's see if the Chinese Communist Party actually does have access to this information. Turns out, even if they do, Congress is stupid because I watched those first TikTok hearings when they had the CEO testifying.
Yeah.
And there was a representative from my state who we did a short about this on Average Intelligence who I'm paraphrasing, but said something to the effect of, well, when I get on TikTok, all I see is homosexuals or he said, all I see is little girls and homosexuals dancing. And I'm watching in real time, I'm watching this live and I just go, who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him how the algorithm works? Because like now in his defense, I know exactly what happened. He downloaded the app because he's never used it before because he was told that if you get in there, there's nothing but, you know, homosexuals and little girls dancing around. So that's what he searched for. And the TikTok algorithm is so good. I don't know why he laughs in the Trump there. The TikTok algorithm is so good. It's the greatest algorithm ever. It's greatest, the greatest, not better than mine, but it's the greatest. The TikTok algorithm is so good that when you search for something, especially TikTok goes, okay, flood them with this.
Yeah.
Like flood them, flood their feed.
Really, he fucked himself over by doing that.
And you could see it on the CEO's face where he was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. He was like, I have to say this in the most respectful. There were so many moments like that. And there was another guy who asked him, he was like, well, does TikTok access the Wi-Fi? And the CEO was just literally like, he's like, you can see it on his face. And I mean, 1,000 points to TikTok for professionalism because he could have just been like, are you like, Do you try to be stupid or were you born that way? Like it's
Oh
it's
my God.
wild.
It's
But then he
wild.
but then he's just like, well, yes, if the user wants to use TikTok by connecting to Wi-Fi. And he was like, so no, I'm asking, will it access my router? And he said, Senator, yes, but you don't have to use Wi-Fi to use TikTok. But if you connect to Wi-Fi, like, yes, but it doesn't access any other information that your phone or computer isn't already using. Like he was like, how can I answer this really stupid question in a way that this clear moron will understand? I felt so bad for him, but I mean, he handled it like a boss. And my
Or
opinion
that
then
guy,
changed.
or that guy that kept asking him if he was from China, and he kept saying, "No, I'm from Singapore."
Well,
And
and that's concerning on a whole new level because first of all, that senator probably doesn't know what Singapore is. And even if he does, like, I don't have a fan. I mean, they don't have the greatest relationship with China. Like, they're like, yes, the people that live in Singapore are Asian, but it's not China. It's not. It's
it's
a
not.
it's a whole different country where they speak English for the most part. I'm given to understand. Never been to Singapore, but
It's
yeah,
like
I'm given
this.
to understand that English is like the primary language there. I'm sure some of them speak Chinese, but I'm sure some of them speak a wealth of other languages. Probably French. I feel like Hootie Tootie people feel like if they speak French, they're somehow fancier. I don't know.
I, I just thought to myself, like, do we need to pull up a map to see where Singapore is, or do we?
I think that if you administered a world geography test to members of Congress, you would be horrified by the results. I think you would be legitimately afraid.
No, I kind of
I,
want to do it.
I don't think you do because we would have an actual purge on our hands. The movie Civil War would no longer be fiction. It would be real. They would just march on Washington. But in all fairness, too, I think that if you administered a world geography test to the vast majority of Americans, you would be horrified by the results. So Congress is made up of representatives of Americans. So I'm not dogging on my country. I'm just saying it's probably true. It's probably true. I think the lawyer for TikTok brought up a really good point. It's a point I've been making too, though, is the fact that, well, okay, if you're going to ban TikTok, there's at least half a dozen other apps that you have to ban just on principle
Yeah,
that are really worse than TikTok, like Temu, Sheen, Alibaba. Like there's there's a wealth. And then okay, so and this is something they haven't discussed, unless maybe you can enlighten me if they have. So if they ban the app, right, you can still access TikTok.com on your computer, yeah?
I think so. And I think you'll still be able to be on the app. Like, and
Yeah,
you,
it just won't update.
it
Yeah,
just
but
won't
okay,
update. And
just use a
then,
VPN.
and people are saying that the VPN won't work.
Why?
I don't know.
No, VPNs absolutely work. Like that's how people access international libraries on Netflix and whatnot. Like, yeah, it absolutely will. You just change your location to anywhere else in the world, and okay, but let's say hypothetically that it doesn't work. If you live close enough to Canada, people will drive across the border just to update their TikTok.
I live like not even. I live very close to Canada, actually.
Oh, really? Are you? I'll edit this out. Are you in the UP?
Um, I'm no, I'm in the low.
Oh, okay, but
The
yeah, I mean, you're
the
well,
I'm
you're
relatively
less.
close.
Yeah,
Relatively.
I'm just asking because I was on like a weekend trip in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and we literally shrugged our shoulders one day and we're like, let's just go to Canada, and we did. And
So I mean, I'm not in the upper P, but I still am remotely.
you're still
Yeah,
relatively close. Yeah.
yeah. So I could just drive there and just be like, okay, this is my home now.
Well, and the people that live close to the southern border, I mean, they can just drive to Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
literally, I could just text. I could literally text Justin and be like, "Okay, I'm coming."
Well, Justin's on the other side of the country, but he's way over on West. But
Oh well, still, I'll go there then.
what do you mean? I'm in Canada. Oh
I'll
gosh,
go
yeah.
there then.
The whole thing is just so silly. It's just so silly.
It is, and I don't. Did you watch the Senate of that was on the 10th?
No, I'll be honest, I didn't because I just can't watch these people anymore. Like over
You're like,
this,
no.
it's so dumb. Because here's the thing, it became very clear to me. It became clear to me during the initial hearing, but as this saga has gone on, it became very, very clear to me that the vast majority of this comes from wanting to curate content. And as a an extreme advocate of free speech, the fact that the case hasn't been thrown out yet is mind-boggling to me because it's like, okay, and this just shows the ignorance of the courts in general. Is like, okay, you're saying it's a national security concern, right?
Mm.
Demonstrate to me a time when TikTok has accessed sensitive information. Name one, because the last time I checked, if you can't be convicted of a crime, then legally speaking, it didn't happen. So give me evidence. This is all speculation.
Well, they did bring that up. They brought that up on the 10th, and I can't remember what they said, but like they did bring that up. And
Yeah, I heard one bit about the lawyer representing the government, like just really struggling with the English language.
and they grilled her. They
They
grilled her.
should, because it's
They
stupid.
they laughed at her. They literally laughed
Yeah, I
at
know.
her.
And it's stupid. It's so incredibly stupid. And I heard one of the justices, I forget, it said who it was, I just can't remember. But she even said, she was like, well, like everybody knows that it's tied to China. Like everybody already knows that. So it's not like there's no cloak and dagger happening here. And it's like, okay, yes, I'm willingly giving up the information that they're taking because to me, the experience of the app outweighs the information they're taking. As long as I consent to it, it's fine.
And then the government lawyer was like, and then she brought up like of like, well, TikTok like uses it to like for like against people to get people to fight or something against each
Oh
other.
yeah, I saw that. Okay, that's social media. And I
Yeah,
think if you're gonna, okay, Facebook's the worst for that. So if that's your criteria, Facebook needs to go. All social media the internet needs to be turned off if your argument is, well, it makes people fight.
yeah.
And I would like to remind everyone, before the internet, there were TV shows where people got on there and screamed at each other. So, and before that, there were radio programs where people got on there and screamed at each other. And before that, people used to actually shoot each other in duels because
Mm.
somebody said something snarky. So I'll take a mean
I
comment
mean,
section over literal duels any day.
and then like one of the justices clapped back and was like, "Isn't that true with everywhere?" Like, and if that's the case, I think that they're winning.
Well, not only that, if that is your argument, that that is a blatant violation of the First Amendment if you take it away on that ground.
Yeah.
Like it seems like no matter what you do, because you can't prove a national security concern, and if it's about content, First Amendment. Now, the best they can hope for is an age restriction, but guess what? TikTok already has that. There's already an age restriction, and he did me proud. Show, I believe his name is the CEO.
Yep.
During that first hearing, he was like, "No, we have I forget the age now. I think it was under 16.
Mm.
Under a certain number, there's a ton of parental controls. They're easy to use. They walk you through how to do it. You just have to look up the information. It's very easy.
Yeah.
And you can pair, like if you got kids that are on TikTok, you can pair it with your phone so you can see everything they're seeing.
Yeah.
You can literally look at their watch history and not even need their phone. These are things you can do. So
Mhm.
at what point at what point is the individual responsible for, content curation?
Mm.
When the application gives you all the tools that you need. It's just people are refusing to use them. And some people do use them and they have a great time. They have a great experience.
And I would like to point out too, I g- I want to mention something that had happened yesterday, and I think I told you about this. I texted you this. I texted you this. So last night, Trump came out. There was a Washington Post article that Trump was on, and he quoted that he is going to find ways to pause the ban once he's on day one in office. I shit you not. An hour after that, Biden announces on his platform, like he announces on NBC that he's going to.
We're gonna stop the ban. We're gonna stop it. We're gonna keep all clocks running. They say they want to get rid of TikTok. I say no. We need clocks, and we're gonna keep them. Where am I? It's the hostage with Hamas all over again. Like there are people who are saying with a straight face, it's like, well, Biden did that. No, he didn't.
And this, well, let me just clarify. This is just Biden trying to take credit for Trump pausing the ban.
Well, and here's the thing though, and this is why it's so frustrating. If Biden had said from the outset of all this, he's being like, I don't know why they're even talking about this because I'm not going to, because the law gives the president authority to. So just because they uphold the law doesn't even mean it's banned. The president still has to do it.
Mhm.
So if the law is passed, which actually I would tweak some things, on its face, the law is not awful, but I think it needs a higher burden of proof to prove that an application or company is actually a national security risk from a foreign adversary. But
Mhm.
you know, on its face, I just don't like how vague it is. When I was
Right.
when I was perusing through it, I was like, this is way too vague.
Yeah.
Like this is far too, and this is going to be
Mhm.
abused hardcore.
Mhm.
The alleged intent behind the law is not necessarily a bad one.
Mhm.
But when it comes to TikTok, it's like, first of all, it doesn't even qualify. But even if it did, the president still has to say, yes, ban it. And the
Right.
president, no matter who it is, to a certain extent, the president's a horror to the people because this is the wildest thing to me. I'm trying to think of a good example. I mean, there's a ton of websites out there that are scam websites, right? They're clearly run by, probably foreign adversaries. But
Yep.
I'm going to create a fake app. I'm going to call it Watch Iran, but spelled different, and it's a social media company based out of Iran, right? And this is clearly, taking people's data, hacking into people's phones, blah 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 blah. Yes, I would very much like that app to not be available in the United States because unfortunately some people are stupid and most of them are in government, but some people are stupid and I guarantee you there would be some staffer somewhere who's on it doing dance videos and they hack into their phone and they're able to access this person's microphone in a top secret security meeting. You know, it's not
Mhm.
it's not impossible.
Right.
But when it comes to TikTok, like, oh, okay, I remember the point I was going to make. But let's say this app, Trump gets it. I'm going to ban Watch Iran. I'm going to ban it. It's going to be banned. And then if enough people kick up a fuss about it, he'll be like, I'm not going to ban it. It's a great app. It's a wonderful app. Ayatollah Khomeini told me it's completely safe, because enough people kick up a fuss. So this whole thing, it's playing politics in just the dumbest way. And I don't even understand it. Actually, I probably do because I bet if you look at the portfolios of the people that wrote that bill, they probably invest heavily in Meta. If I had to,
Mhm.
if I had to guess.
Mhm.
And if I'm not mistaken, TikTok is a privately held company. It's not a publicly traded one, so they
Mhm.
can't invest in TikTok.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like people all over TikTok are saying like, oh, he's gonna sell to Kevin O'Leary, he's gonna sell to Elon Musk, and I'm like, no, they're not gonna sell. They said point blank that they were never gonna sell.
Well, because I don't think the ban's happening, but actually I did chuckle at the headline of like TikTok considers selling to Elon Musk, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna troll the left hard because they hate Elon Musk more than they hate China.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, too touche, government, touche.
Oh my god. Um, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, even Kevin O'Leary is like, I'm gonna buy TikTok. I'm like, you can't buy TikTok. It show has said it's not for sale.
Yeah, it's not. And why would it be? But because here's the thing, even if they ban it, it will be a temporary ban because the negative effects will far outweigh any perceived positives the government may have had.
Mm,
Like I'm kind of surprised people, I mean, I'm sure people are protesting, but I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been a bigger fuss kicked up. But I think that's because most people understand what this really is. And they know that it started out as a show, and then they saw how mad it was going to make people. And now they're like, okay, we just got to like slowly back away from this. Got to slowly back away.
mm.
But the fact that there are people in Congress who are using TikTok and voted for the ban, I'm just kind of like, well, I kind of want to buy you a dictionary and bookmark the word hypocrite in there, like where you'll find it. Because if it's
I'm
so dangerous,
so, I'm so mad about like my congressman. She freaking voted for the ban. I'm like,
now who's your congressman?
I can't think of her
Congresswoman?
name. I can't think of her name. One second.
So that, yeah, that would be your representative, not your senator.
Yeah.
That's funny
Um,
because I have a super Republican. Oh no, I think trying to remember. I don't know if he's taken office yet, but I don't think
Debbie
either.
Debbie Dingle. That's her name.
Oh, yeah. And does she have a TikTok though?
I have no idea. Don't know.
We're gonna find out.
Oh, geez.
You said it was Debbie Diggle, right?
Yeah, Dingle.
Dingle, Debbie
Yeah,
Dingle.
yeah. Which I heard that name. I'm like, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think she has one. So it doesn't appear that she has a TikTok, so fair enough.
Mhm.
At least she's consistent.
Stop wasting your time on manually editing your videos. The secret AI tool will do the work for you. One of the best things about it is that it gives your video the potential to go viral. Visit this page, sign in, create a project by clicking on this button. Choose a video that you want to use. Click on the AI clip button. Wait for the magic. It is scanning through the video and looking for the parts that has the potential to go viral. Instead of editing the video by yourself, it does the work for you. It even generates headline and captions which fit your video. Another surprise is that they generate video description or social post for you to use. Once done, click Export to post.
But because I'm such an optimist, not really, but I hope for the best and plan for the worst. So I've been thinking about it. It's like, well, what do we do if TikTok goes away? Now, personally, it doesn't really affect me all that much. What affects me is that because they're sanctioning ByteDance, not TikTok.
Yeah.
So if ByteDance goes away, they make my favorite video editor of all time.
Yes.
And that will really piss me off. Now, I have it downloaded. So I think, see, that's okay. So that's another thing, though, because software on a computer is much harder to regulate because you can just direct download it. So I
Yeah.
think I'll be okay, at least for the desktop version, which is what I use the
Mhm.
most anyway. And
Mhm.
theoretically, I can use it for the mobile stuff. I just prefer to do it on my phone, but I can make it work. Um, but yeah, I love CapCut so much.
I know,
But also,
and I thought about that, and that's why I was like, oh, I thought about that, and I was like, oh shit.
I don't think it's going anywhere though. I'll be honest. I don't think it is because
Me
how
neither.
well, here's the frustrating thing too. So okay, ByteDance. When you've got a company that big, like because Meta makes other stuff other than social media too now.
Mhm.
Like they make hardware, so it's really hard to sanction a company, right? It's really difficult, especially a software company, because theoretically you can just download it. Like hardware is easier because you can prevent it from being imported. Like Huawei, like for example, you can't. I have to. I might be wrong on this, but Huawei phones, like
Mhm.
you can't.
Yeah.
I think you can have one here, but you can't attach it to a carrier.
Yep.
Like I said, because I think I seem to remember a video where Joe Rogan was talking about it, where he says he has one and he can't even, or I think he said he can connect it to Wi-Fi, but he can't like use it as a phone, right? Because it won't, it just won't work with our carriers. They won't allow it. But it's funny though, because this is a, this sounds random, but it's not because we were playing, I was hanging out with my girlfriend and her son, and we were playing. There's this YouTube channel where they do like guessing games, logo games. Anyway, he just happened to have a logo game going, and the Huawei logo came up. And the only reason I know what the Huawei logo looks like is because of like video shorts that I've done. So I
Mhm.
guessed immediately. I was like, Huawei. And she kind of looked at me like, how do you know what Huawei is? Because apparently they're really big in Venezuela, or they're really big around the world, just
Mhm.
not, I don't know about Canada. But she's like, how do you know about Huawei? Because apparently when she came to the States the first time, her phone wouldn't work because it was a Huawei phone. So she got a crash course in US Chinese relations right out the gate. But yeah, so that's what would really make me mad is if they took CapCut away because I love CapCut so much.
Mhm.
As an editor, I have so many toys in CapCut. It's ridiculous. I edit everything in CapCut now. I just
Mhm.
love it so much. It's such a great tool. And like, it really pisses me off because I mean, there's a free version of it. You just don't have all the cool toys. And even the free version is still a really good editor.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yep.
It's cheap. I think you pay 9.9. Yeah, you pay 9.9. I should know that because I sell CapCut Pro. We're here at RTA Media. We're CapCut Pro affiliates. So yeah, you should. Well, I'm gonna hold off on clicking that link in the description because if it's banned, then obviously I don't want you to spend money. But
Then obviously don't do it.
it's down there though. It's
Yeah.
down there because it's phenomenal. But if you click
Yeah.
that link, you get 7 days free to try it
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
yeah, if you're making any kind of content, I can't say enough about CapCut. It's great, and yeah, it probably is stealing my information, but I don't have any money, so fuck it. What are you going to take from me? Nothing.
I was gonna
My
say something.
opinions, yeah, my opinions aren't secret either. They're broadcast to the world weekly.
Oh my god, I was gonna say something, and then you just like made me laugh in the middle of what I was gonna try to say, and I'm just saying you broke me.
Yeah, I'm like I always make the joke that if my wallet ever gets stolen, I'm the one who's going to walk away going sucker. You're going to open that thing and be real disappointed.
You're gonna open that thing, and Bob's gonna come flying out.
Yeah, where's all the money? Wish I knew, brother. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that broke, but I mean, like, I'm not. There's nothing on this computer that I would have any issue with being broadcast to the world. So I really don't care if the Chinese Communist Party is looking at the video shorts that I edit. Like, I don't care. Some of them talk shit about them. So
All of my stuff is on my Pop Socket wallet. So if they take my actual wallet, shit out of luck, because all my crap's here.
You have a decoy wallet? Nice, smart.
Yeah.
I had a decoy wallet when I traveled abroad. I remember reading it in I forget what it was, but it was basically like good ideas for international travel. And they because I don't care if you're watching this and you're a pickpocket, plug your ears. Because I don't carry my wallet in my back pocket like a lot of people do. I carry it in my front pocket.
Yeah.
Because this thing advised me, because if somebody, first of all, most people go for the back pocket because that's where most men carry their wallets. And if somebody tries to pick your front pocket, it's not impossible, but it's much harder for obvious reasons. So I just always carried it there. But when I was traveling, I had a decoy wallet in my back pocket with like an expired debit card that didn't work anymore anyway. And like they recommended you put something in there so that they don't immediately come back to you. But yeah, I had an old debit card that was like 2 years expired, and like I think I had like $5 in it. So they'd be like, "All right, I scored," and then they try to use the card, and they're like, "Shit, I've been bamboozled again."
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, but no, this is like my actual wallet, but like I always have my phone on me, and I don't let that sucker go. So
You heard it here, folks. Go for the phone.
fuck you.
No, that's the bit I always do whenever a partner or whoever like oh, watch my purse or whatever. I always hold it up and go, the bidding will start at $50.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, needless to say, the government doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. There are just a bunch of old people that are just like, well, oh, what is this TikTok? What does this do? And it's like they don't know. They don't
See,
really know.
ironically though, I honestly think there is grounds to ban Timu, for example.
Yeah.
Different grounds, but I think there are legitimate grounds. But again, I hate the word ban. I don't like the word ban.
Mm-mm.
I think what I would do if I were emperor and could, with the stroke of a pen, change the law, I would make it to where if the app wasn't a legitimate national security concern, but they harvest data, for example, just put it in a disclaimer when you sign up. I know nobody reads that shit anyway, but just make it that's the requirement. It's like they did it with cigarettes, damn it.
Mm.
And they're trying to, I believe they're trying to do it with alcohol if they haven't already. My memory's failing me. But just put a warning before you sign up. Just say like, this app collects the following data, blah, 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 accept.
Yeah.
And then frankly, I'm kind of surprised they don't do that anyway, because then when you have a disclaimer, people can't get mad at you. I mean, they can get mad at you, but they can't do anything about it.
What do you think of like the people that are saying, I mean, if Trump just gives us like a 90-day extension, he'll just enforce the ban or something like that, or
The veil between her world and the other realm has faded, unleashing magic into the lives of ordinary citizens. Awakening from a 4-year coma, Tori James discovers a world transformed. For some, like Tori, the unveiling ignites hidden abilities. With her expertise in classical languages, she's drawn into a world of thieves and magic. Join Tori on her magical journey in Book 1 of the Unveiled book series, Revival. Unveil your destiny.
I don't know. Trump's really hard to read. But, and believe me, I'm going through it. I'm going through it hardcore, but it's like we had a text exchange too, where I basically said something to the effect of like, watch Trump through this and other actions in a second term become the most popular president in modern history.
yeah,
And that will make me laugh so hard, because here's the dirty little secret, guys. Trump is a moderate, and he always has been.
Mhm.
Trump has always been a moderate. Now,
Yeah.
a very loud one, but he has
Yep.
always been a moderate. What I think is going to happen is, I think, because Trump is very good at this. Trump is very good at talking. Like I'll use the can, since everybody's talking about it, I'll use this as an example. And I find it so laughable that people don't understand this after having gone through a Trump administration. Trump is a master at manipulating unintelligent people. So here's what he wants to do. So Trump wants to legitimately get more US control at the Panama Canal. Great. That's fine. But because of his reputation, he can't lead with that, right? Because then people will be like, oh, he's just trying to be an imperialist, blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. So what does he do? He throws a curveball up north to Canada and say, I think it'd be really great if Canada became the 51st state. And then all the Canadians go, oh, fuck you, buddy. And they start a fight there. And then he goes, you know what? I really think we should buy Greenland. I might use the military to take it, but I think we should buy it. And then when he does that, most people go, he can't do that, blah, blah. But then some people go, actually, that I don't know. I don't like the way he's going about it, but he's kind of got a point, and even people in Greenland are like, he has a point, it's like, because fuck Denmark, like 57% of people polled said that they would join the United States in Greenland. So it's kind of like, that's not nothing. It's probably not going to happen, but that's not nothing. But now the idea of the United States overseeing the Panama Canal becomes a lot more palatable by comparison, right? Trump does this, has done it, and will continue to do it all the time. I suspect, and I hope I'm right on this, because Trump and I, at least on the surface, disagree vehemently about immigration policy. But what I think he's going to do is using all this talk, this fearful talk, to broker a deal to finally solve, for example, the DACA crisis, or not crisis, but the DACA problem. Because I said from day one, I've always criticized DACA because it's not enough. It's a stopgap. It's not a permanent solution. And I don't understand why it wasn't a permanent solution. Actually, I do. It was to try and get votes. But but again, he has to go to the extreme to get people scared, to get them to come to the middle where he wants to be in the first place. He does it with tariffs all the time. I'm going to charge a 50% tariff if you don't give us what we want. And then they give him what he wants. And I don't know that everybody's better for it, but the United States, generally speaking, is. It depends. Like the Canadian aluminum thing, bad example. But, so I suspect that's what will happen here is I think you will get some concessions from ByteDance. For example, though, they added somewhat recently on TikTok, they did add a STEM feed, which I love. I think that's great. Because if you haven't noticed it, if you go to your TikTok screen on your far top left, you see STEM. It's all science and, oh, you can't see it. It's too bright. Here, let me lower the brightness. Maybe that'll work. Does it work? Yeah. It's all math and science in the STEM field. Everything is math and science.
And according to the government, that's bad.
Well, to be fair, during the first hearing, it didn't exist. They added it.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, great. I love it. Sometimes I just go to the STEM field and feel stupid. Sometimes I just want to feel dumb. And they're like, solve this SAT question. I'm like, nah, let's go back to cats. Yeah, let's just go back to cats. Cats and dogs. That's where I'm at. Which is funny because I love, you can actually tell a lot about somebody based on their TikTok feed. And let's just say there's a lot of dogs and cats on my video. And I've been fascinated by bird videos lately. I don't know why. Well, they keep inundating my feed because I saw one that I found kind of funny, and knowing how the TikTok algorithm works, they're like, oh, birds. Like he clearly likes birds, and they're influencing me, man. It's bad because now I'm like, kind of want a bird now. But you can't just get one because they get lonely. So you have to get two. And yeah, so that's a thing that hopefully won't happen, but let's hope not. Damn you, TikTok, ban it.
Well, then, like for me, I've been in like these TikTok ban protest lives, and ever since then, my For You page has been all about the ban, everything about the ban. I'm like, oh God.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. So TikTok's really it's really robust. It's kind of scary, but it's just because the technology is so good. Like even the stuff that you post will to a certain extent curate what shows up in your feed. Because clearly, if you're doing me, for example, if you're posting a lot of videos about the Titanic movie, you're going to get Titanic videos on your feed. It's going to happen, you know. And I guess that's I sentimentally for TikTok. I mean, I don't want it gone because I don't want anything to be banned unless it's legitimately dangerous. And even then, I don't like the word ban. I prefer curated. But and then plus, like a bunch of the people that have podcasts on our network right now are because of TikTok.
Yeah, right, right. And let's just go back to what I said earlier was you need a legitimate excuse to ban it with proof, and you have no proof.
None whatsoever. Yeah, unfortunately, I believe this. Well, it's I don't know what you would call this. I think this would qualify as a well, it's certainly not criminal, but this is really just governmental. I don't know if that would be considered civil or what, but it just seems like a tremendous overreach, in my opinion.
And the fact that they claimed that they like it like in the TikTok hearing on the 10th, they literally like were the TikTok lawyer was like, yeah, and they told us that they had proof, but they wouldn't show it to us.
Then it's inadmissible. That's not how this works.
Right.
Then you can't if you won't let the other side see it, then I'm not a lawyer, but it's my understanding that any evidence that's going to be presented has to be shared with the other side. So if you're not going to show it, then you don't get to use it. So great job. Did you watch Suits to get your law degree? Like I'm not a lawyer, but I have to say, like I've seen the clips running around on, and trust me, TikTok has problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because my biggest thing is I hate that some of my content will get taken out when there are channels that literally just stream whole movies and TV shows like live, and then there are channels with millions of views that simply upload clips of TV shows and
Yeah.
movies. However, I now know why they get away with it because there's no less than 6 or 7 shows or movies that I have watched now because I saw the damn clips on TikTok and they know it.
Mm.
So like I almost watched Suits. I'm like, I don't want to watch Suits.
I want to watch Suits.
But I'm seeing all these clips and I'm like, I kind of want to watch Suits. I'm like, no.
I have clips of Death and Other Details, and yet you didn't watch it.
It's because I do not have time. I am intrigued by it. I just don't have time. You and Max, I swear. You're like, watch this. I'm like, when? When do you expect me to watch this? He told me yesterday, he said, just don't sleep. And I'm like, yeah, that'll go great.
Go great.
That'll
I'll
be
go to
wonderful.
work and I'll be tired.
Crash on the way. Yeah, it would not be good. But yeah, I have so much crap I need to watch. Like Netflix just came out with this new show that's right up my alley, and I'm sitting here, I'm literally trying to figure out when I can watch it, and I'm like, I can't this week. I literally can't. There's no time. It's real rough. It's real rough.
But yeah, all this
No,
to
I think
say, all this to say, what the fuck, government?
I mean, to be fair, the government fucks up a lot.
Yeah.
If you like literally, if you want to, if because some people just sometimes you just want to get mad, turn on C-SPAN when the House or Senate is in session. It will infuriate you.
Mhm.
Just the sheer stupidity of what goes on in there. It will. It'll gnaw at you. Speaking of which, TikTok knows I'm talking about. I'm getting a lot of notifications randomly. I'm on your side. I would say it in Mandarin, but I don't know how to say it.
Oh my god. But yeah. Oh, and I was trying to remember. Oh, I was trying to. For a minute. Oh, I was gonna say, like, I watched C-SPAN for the first time because on the 10th I was trying to figure out where to watch um the Supreme Court hearing, and
Yeah.
actually I kind of like C-SPAN now.
Right. I'm actually a really big fan of C-SPAN in concept because, I mean, I'll be blunt, a lot of it's boring, but I like the fact that you can watch in real time your government at work. At any time they're in session, it will be on C-SPAN
Mm,
and you can watch it uninterrupted.
yeah.
And it's amazing to me how many people don't know that. Like,
Mm,
you absolutely can.
mm,
Obviously, not the closed door committee meetings for national security reasons, but sometimes they do have committees. The ones that are like when people testify before the Senate and all that, or
mm,
various committees in Congress. Like most of that stuff is, I believe all of it, but I could be mistaken.
mm,
Most of the non-classified stuff, if not all of it, is broadcast on C-SPAN. If it's
mm,
not outright broadcast on like the open news, but C-SPAN does not interrupt for
mm,
commercial breaks and the like. At least I don't
mm.
think so.
All right.
And anymore, I think you can just go to their website. Like even if you don't have cable, you can just go to cspan.com, I believe. If and they might even have a YouTube channel for all I know. But my point is you can watch it. You can absolutely watch it. You can watch your government be stupid whenever you want. Like I can't
Yeah.
believe some of the bullshit they argue about. It's absolutely ludicrous. Yeah, we've got people literally dying in fires in California, and we're arguing about a fucking social media app.
Yeah. Right. Right. And that's what a lot of my friends brought up too. Is like we have fires in California right now. We have
That
horrible
hurricane
healthcare,
and yeah.
horrible healthcare, hurricane, and it's like we're fucking fighting over an
Well,
for
no,
apps, dude.
let's stop people from making money on a side hustle
Yeah.
because occasionally there's videos that say that you people are morons.
Mhm.
Because that's what this is really about.
I will say this: TikTok helped me create this podcast for you guys because I met this dude.
What, dude? Where's he at?
You.
Oh, I just saw what you were doing, and I'm like, okay, clearly there's
I
entertainment
know.
here.
I know. Like, I mean, because yeah, I met this dude. I met him on TikTok.
Yeah. And then there are people like Justin's audience on TikTok is honestly bigger than YouTube. Not that he can't grow there, but it's a different you attract different people on TikTok versus YouTube. It's just a different demographic. So it just gives, if you're a content creator, it gives you more ways to access. And
Mm,
it's probably the most direct because, like, for example, on YouTube, you can't direct message people anymore. You used to be able to many,
mm,
many, many years ago, but you can't anymore unless there's a feature that I'm unaware of, but I don't see a messages tab. You can chat in the comments, but it's not the same. Like, but on TikTok, you can just DM somebody. They don't have to accept it, but you can.
my friend went live on Instagram or not Instagram on YouTube for the first time like a couple days ago. Shit was scary over there. She was like this is scary because they were like
Okay.
weird people. They were weird people asking very inappropriate questions.
Well, yeah, that's YouTube. Thing is, if you go live on YouTube, you can't be afraid to make fun of the people in the comments section because, first of all, they're probably not even people. And if they are, fuck them. Our only rule on average intelligence is if you dish it, be ready to get it because
Mm-hmm.
we will respond in kind. Eric's a menace in the comments section. A lot of it's legitimately. See, I try to kill people with kindness, and he's just like, yeah, fuck you and your mother.
Oh, that's why I love
you can
Eric.
you can tell who's who in the comments section.
And that's why I love Eric. He just gives no fucks.
He just doesn't. That's we've been friends for a very, very long time. He has not changed. That's how he's always been. And I
Mm,
appreciate that because here's the thing. You'll never know, you'll never wonder where you stand with him. You will always know because he will tell you straight up. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, if you look in the comment section on average intelligence, you can tell exactly who's talking because I'm the one who's like, oh, that's really interesting. What makes you think that? And he's just like, fuck off.
I I just love, and that's why I love him because he just gives no fucks, and I'm like, I'm the same
Zero.
way. I give no fucks,
Zero fucks given.
especially when virus messes with me. I give no fucks. I will fucking go right back.
Okay. So I think you know this because I've mentioned it before, but just so you know, the Swayze thing.
Hmm.
You do know what happened after we finished that live podcast, right?
What happened?
So afterwards, nobody would know this because it wasn't live, but he starts laughing. He was like, the funny thing is, I love Patrick Swayze. She's like, I'm just doing it to get a rise out of it.
You,
Hey, I defended the Sways.
yeah.
I absolutely defended the Sways.
Virus, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, watch it. Watch out.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. But yeah, I don't think TikTok's going to go anywhere.
No,
I
I
think
don't
we will.
either.
I think you'll see some changes probably, but for the better, probably. Um, but yeah, I can't see how they can justify, even if the ban goes through. I don't think it'll last for very long because, and that's the other thing. There are ways around it. It's only a matter of time before
Mhm.
people, because I think you can still do a direct download too.
Mhm.
So even if it's not on the App Store, for example,
Mhm.
like I think they'll probably make a way where you can go to TikTok.com and download
Mhm.
it directly, so you can still have it on your phone. And
Yeah.
you might have to manually update, but it's whatever.
Like, and I believe either Biden's team or yeah, I think it was either Biden's team or Trump's team. I can't remember which. That said, like, you will not lose TikTok on Sunday. It won't go dark on Sunday.
It won't go well. I mean, it won't even go dark at all because that was the only thing that I know what he was doing. The lawyer said that it
Mm.
would go dark. That was to strike some fear, but that's not what's gonna happen because that is a blatant violation of the First Amendment.
Mm.
Like it just is. And like I mean, TikTok already curates content, like so that's not a thing. And frankly, if you're gonna stipulate that for TikTok, then Twitter's way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is way worse.
Mm. Yeah.
So where's the line, right?
And he was also like, "Come Sunday morning, you will still have TikTok." And I'm like, "Now you tell us that, Biden administration?"
Yeah, no, what are you trying to say? You guys already lost the election. What are you doing? We just want to be able to say we say TikTok. You'll be able to tell time forever. It's the alligator, the thing, the scroll. Trump didn't do that. We did.
Oh my god. And that's why Larry told you. That's why Larry told you. It was like he just lit a fire under Biden's ass. Trump did.
Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of smart because let's say Biden saves TikTok, and then it turns out that it is a national security threat. Trump can be like, "I knew from the beginning we should have banned it, but Sleepy Joe wanted to scroll on his TikTok, and I said no, Joe." And then if Joe does ban it, he'll get in the mirror. It's like I told him I wouldn't have banned it. Okay, no, but they'll come up with something. They'll
That's
come up with something.
funny. Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
that or show will just start an American version.
Mhm.
Somebody will. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I do want to mention to everybody that there's a link. There's a petition going around to sign to save TikTok. You sign it, and then they're trying to get up to 1 million signatures to go to the government, and so then they can save TikTok. So I will leave that down below too.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that should be easy with the number of people that are on TikTok.
There's already over 200,000.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not going to be hard.
Yeah.
That's just don't be lazy. Just Just type your name in. Come on.
Like Governor Senator Ro Khanna is the one that created that. So
Whereas Biden would say, come on, man. You got to sign it. You got to sign it into law. I'm going to miss him. No, I'm not.
no, you're not. Don't lie.
I'm going to miss doing the impression. Happy 14th of Father's Day. That was my favorite sticker. Actually, no, I take that back. My favorite sticker was him, and it said, and underneath it says, who shit my pants. But happy 14th of Father's Day is my second favorite.
Mm. Oh my god.
Oh,
This-
but don't worry, we're still going to laugh. We're going to have a lot of laughs
Yeah.
with Trump
And-
2.0.
And stay tuned because at the end of this video, you may or may not have a update.
That's true. You may or may not. But here's the thing, people. If Trump does save TikTok, don't immediately go on there and shit talk him because then he's just going to ban it. Trump is that petty, okay?
He's a petty bitch. Come on.
He's very petty.
He's
So
a petty bitch.
see, but here's the thing, and this is why I think the left will eat itself eventually, because let's say that Trump does prevent TikTok from getting banned, right?
Mhm.
The left will still go on there and be like, it was actually Joe Biden. It was actually Joe. It was actually Joe and Kamala that did it. And it's like,
Mhm.
and then they'll continue to shit talk Biden. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see. I don't think TikTok's going to go anywhere.
No.
I think it'll change, but I don't think it'll go anywhere.
So.
Yeah.
Is that your final thought?
Knock on wood.
And I don't know if any of the I don't think that any of the government are watching this podcast. I don't know, and if you are, then thank you, I guess.
They're always watching.
But if you are, you fucking did this, so thank you.
I love the government.
I
They
hate
make
it.
the greatest decisions all the time. Vote
Okay.
for your local politician and donate money. Donate all the money. Don't do the money. Stop it.
You're literally you on your podcast you talk shit about the government all the time, and on this podcast you're just like, oh, I'm gonna kiss their ass.
No, I'm just trying to save you from me. Because you'll be guilty by association then.
True.
No, I'll tell all of them where they can stick it. I have no problem.
But yeah, I hope that you guys are happy because of you, 70 million business owners are gonna lose their job probably.
And I never stray too far from the sidewalk. Oh, wait, we're talking about a different thing. Never mind. Yeah. No, but seriously, like, I mean, just even because they cannot prove a legitimate, national security threat, just let the people alone. Like, leave them be. Let the people that started businesses on TikTok, let the people that grew their business on TikTok, let the people that created their brands on TikTok, just leave them alone.
Yeah. Leave me alone. I started this podcast on TikTok. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
Piss off. Piss off, government. And I always say that is why, at the end of the day, I love this country so much because I can get on here and tell the president of the United States to fuck off and, leave me alone. And I'm not going to get a knock at the door saying like, you spoke ill of the king. And that's why this country is great.
And I can, and I can say I could tell the government and the president.
They're here. No, it was just the dog.
The dog was like, nope. I could tell the government and the president to bite me. Bite me.
Joe won't bite you. He might sniff you, but he won't bite you. I have to put it in my teeth. He's so weird, man. He's so weird.
He really is.
He's so weird. He's a strange fellow. But hopefully, hey, if he saves TikTok, I'll give credit where credit's due. I still think it'll be Trump, but
I said I was going to be unhinged on this episode, and I wasn't as nearly as unhinged as I thought.
no, because I mean it's fairly cut and dry. I mean
Yeah.
it's really not a complex issue. The fact that we're still talking about it kind of boggles my mind because it's ridiculous. I'm amazed the ACLU is not involved here, but
They should.
I know I'm kind of surprised they're not. Maybe they are, and I just haven't seen it.
Hmm.
But
They should
yeah,
be, and they should stop this because it is
free speech, people.
it's it's a blatant uh like it's against our First Amendment rights. Blatantly against the First Amendment right. It's an infringement of our free speech. Point
If
blank.
if their justification is content, then yes, that's a legally true statement.
Yeah.
And the most compelling arguments they have are about content, in which case it's like, well, then people, if you would rather that's the best and worst thing about a free society is that people can choose what to do
Yeah.
with their time, with their thoughts, with their curation. So if you want to watch dumb little videos, that's your prerogative. If you want to watch videos about math and science, that is also your prerogative, but it's your choice.
If you want to go live with your friends that you met on TikTok, that's your prerogative.
Yeah. It only stops with you're doing something obscene or illegal. And I have no problem with not having obscenity on TikTok because again, it's a public forum. And I know there are people that argue free speech. And it's like, you know what? Legally, you might have a point. But at the same time, I think it's good that TikTok has what did you say?
But at the same time, gross.
Oh, I thought you said girls. I was like, what? Yeah, gross. Yeah. Okay. We're on the same
But-
page.
But
I
at
was
the same
like,
time,
what?
gross. At the
Gotcha.
same time, gross.
But yeah. Nah, I think I've said it 4 times already. TikTok will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about CapCut, but TikTok will be fine.
About CapCut. I love that.
I mean, I'm just
concerned
being
about CapCut.
I'm just being honest because I really wasn't like I thought the thing was stupid from the beginning, but once I was like, wait a minute, they're gonna take away my CapCut? Fuck these guys.
Well, like you were just like, you started to get really serious about it when you realized like CapCut was a danger too.
Well, let's just realize what that means is they're, and I realize this is true for TikTok for a lot of people too, but they inhibit my ability to do work if they
Yeah.
take away CapCut.
Yeah.
So, and everybody will say like, well, you can use a different editor. Yeah, but I haven't found one that's as good with all the really cool tools that are included. Like, it's a really great program. And I'm kind of pissed that a Chinese, well, I'm going to even say, I don't even think it's a Chinese company, but I'm pretty pissed that an American company didn't make it. Like, that's the frustrating thing, because I would love to buy more American products, but they either don't make them or don't make them as well.
Yeah.
Like, well, because I'm in the cabinetry industry and all my best quality stuff is if it's not handmade by our Amish supplier, which granted that is American, but until very recently, it was all imported from China. All the best stuff. The American stuff was crap.
Mhm.
Now we do have an American company that opened up a little over a year or 2 ago, and their stuff's pretty good. But it is more expensive, point blank, but it's good. So I like to sell them. But because not only are they American, they're also local. So but yeah, give me CapCut or give me something just like it.
I almost thought you were gonna go with the give me CapCut or give me death thing.
Oh no, they can. I'm not going to die for CapCut. Like it's not that big of a thing. Yeah, I'm what you call what you call a reserved patriot.
Mhm.
It's like I'll join the Colonials as long as they're winning. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I want my CapCut.
And I want
And
my
here's the
TikTok.
and here's the thing, people. We started a revolution over a 3% tax. All right. So I'm not saying anything because I realize what that could sound like. So I'm just going to walk that back. And that is not a call for violence. I'm just saying we got pissed off over a 3% tax on tea that wasn't even enforced.
Yeah.
So put that into perspective. Just give us our TikTok.
Yeah. And we can start a non-violent revolution over TikTok.
A very non-violent, peaceable, demure.
Let's not go to Red Book though, because that just kind of stupid.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's a little.
I understand y'all's idea, like thought process on that, like, give it to the man, but like,
You're actually
no.
giving it to the man though, so don't do that.
Yeah.
You're giving it to the man, you know.
Like, you're like, I get it, stick it to the man, but you're also giving it to like the wrong people.
You're giving it to you're giving it to Big Brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, save TikTok. Hopefully it's still around.
Yep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will put a clip of the of my reaction to the news of the Supreme Court if TikTok is on their docket for the Supreme Court tomorrow. So with that being said, I am off, and I will see you, Eternal Dollars, later.
You won't live to see the future that you fight for. Maybe no one gets to reach that perfect day. If the work is never